When I should be drinking coffee, they will make me to come online. They don't want to have me to rest. But you know what? You know what? The spirit in me, the Biafra spirit in me, I said, when I told you, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is looking for 100 people, I promise that I have 50 in me. You have not seen anything. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. But, you know, as my own oru, I am a royal rucha. You understand? Till Biafra come. But today you are going to receive sense. The crypto, Nigeria crypto. As they are crippling your economy, they close border. They close the border. ESN came out automatically, you know, weaponized. It shocked them. It shocked them. They said, this border no work. Oh. This close of border no work. Oh. Now, how do we stop the funding now of this Sunday or Igbo? How do we stop the contribution? Let us stop the crypto. Because they were following Nigerians, southern Nigerians. Use crypto. We should open crypto. Use crypto. Don't use the Western Union. Don't use this. They say, so these people are doing crypto. Okay, let us slash them. Bah! They are not considering the economic impact of crypto. No. They are not considering how much the crypto is bringing to Nigeria economy. Their agenda is not to make Nigeria progress. No. They have a better agenda. Now you get the point. Now you get the point. My only problem is that why is it that you must wait? Was Thomas born in Nigeria? Is Thomas a Nigerian? Is Thomas in the Bible in Nigeria? Are you a lineage of Thomas? Are you a lineage of Thomas? All of you have Thomas blood in your vein. How did you get Thomas blood in your vein? That it must happen to you first before you understand. We hear more. In Anokia, you hear more kind of Woo! When we are telling you, you don't know, we are telling you, even we are not prophets, but everything we have said, everything we open this mouth to say, if it don't happen today, it will happen tomorrow. I want you to go from the beginning of this struggle. From the beginning. In fact, even the one that we are not sure of, once God asks us to say it, we will say it and God will do it. Hey! Woo! I said, did you see the prayer? May God harden the heart of the leaders in Nigeria so that we will tell them, the world may know that Obi is no longer a boy. I remember when we used to read the history of the Greeks, the Greek god. I don't know, you know, of course you don't read all those things in Africa. The history of the Greek gods. I want you people to understand that the liberation of Biafra has entered the highest stage. in the history of Biafra. Not even during the war. I am telling you, it has entered the highest stage ever. And we are going to do everything humanly possible in this life to restore Biafra. Everything humanly possible will be done. And I want you people to understand that the Biafra liberation is step by step, segment by segment, plan by plan, executions by execution. We'll be executing those plans according to the template till the last one. And Biafra.
Let us go talk about the objective of your struggle and how do you intend to achieve it in practical terms?
In practical terms, it is civil disobedience. The same way that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished civil rights in America, the same way that Mahatma Gandhi led India to independence out of British colonial rule, the same principles we are applying, and might I add, very successfully too. We will do everything possible to unravel and unshackle the zoo called Nigeria. Everything humanly possible. No stone will be left unturned. We will sacrifice everything sacrificable. Material, life, blood will throw into.
And we will do everything humanly possible to see the Biafra.
Onye si na agata anya ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị mgbe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị kunye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọhịa nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokonye anyị n'etiti anyị anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm jiri ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi wepụ ndị iro anyị anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ like he went into a zoo. Oh, go on, memory and Goliath. Chineke na nke igwe ruo memory na Fero. Sikwa otu a mee ka Fero ọgụzọ n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị bịa ka o wee taa akọkọ igwe ọtọ ọsọ. Ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume. Ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ. Ọ bụ nwa bụ ekele n'igwe n'ụwa nwunye ọbụla kere gị n'oge malite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị nwe anyị kwa anọkpa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akọ na ogbu gị na-anọgide ego ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe egosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe mee ka ebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Welcome, 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 fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, wherever you are watching from. I welcome every one of you. Remember, as I have said, in this platform, we will always give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa a voice, and we will not allow them to be silenced. This is a very critical time, a very, very critical time. And this time, is a time Nigeria cannot hide anymore. No matter how Nigeria try to hide, they cannot hide anymore. We will continue to expose them. We will continue to bring them to the spotlight. That is what we are here today to do. And on today's program, you are going to hear from Mazen Nandekano. You are going to hear from Mazen Simon Egba. How they expose and busted Nigeria. Why it has become obvious that we cannot be part of Nigeria. The legacy of Mazen Nandekano and the legacy of Mazen Simon Egba. Nigeria cannot hide anymore. The whole job has been done. All we need to do today is to stand together in unity and continue to speak and fight. Give a voice to Mazen Nandekano. Give a voice to Mazen Simon Egba. This evening, we are going to dedicate this evening to Mazen Nandekano and Mazen Simon Egba, starting from the message that is coming from our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano. Let us hear him and follow up. Digest every single statement he will make. Pay attention. You will learn a lot this evening.
Came, they saw the light in Biafra. They saw it. And they said that you have no reason, as I told you. And I want everybody to go to Google again because we are lecturing today and type in the word Sambatron. I want to teach you something this very day that will shock even our enemies. Go to Google and you type in this word, please. Sambatyon. It's called Sambatyon. It's called the Sambatyon River. I give Elohim praise. Sambatyon River. Go and as I'm reading it, I want you to read it, please. Sambatyon River. You'll be shocked. I told you everything I tell you is gospel from heaven. I don't add anything of mine. As I'm giving the message from heaven, I give it. Let people make up the Biafran people. The whole of Biafra. Forget all these other names. The whole of Biafra. The Igbo people. The house of God. And his nephews. Ephraim and Manasseh. Are you listening to me? There are the ancient people who were there. The first wave of migrants came from Egypt. The second wave came from Samaria. 3 people. One came from Egypt, Sudan. Egypt, Sudan, we share Yoruba land into Igbo land. First wave, the house of God. The house of Ephraim and Manasseh came through Egypt, came through Djibouti, went through the upper lands of Ethiopia, came into the Afar region of Ethiopia, proceeded to the Central African Republic we know today, into Cameroon, and into Biafra land. The third and final wave that came. 3 people make up the land of Biafra. 3. And when I say that Biafrans are Israelites or Hebrew, not all of it. I've told you this before, so there will be no confusion. I want you to go and type in Sambatyon. Some spell it Sambatyon. S for sugar, A for apple, M for mother, B for bravo, A for apple, T for tango, I for India, O for Oscar, and N for November. You can find the Sambatyon and read it. Oh, dear me. In the earliest literature, where do I begin? What is Sambatyon? It is the mythical river. It is the mythical river. Oh, God. A river of stone. A river of stone that took Jews to every part of the world. There was a man that wrote many centuries ago. Many centuries ago. Unbelievable. This is shocking. Shocking. I'm telling you. The river Sambation flowed beyond the rivers of Abyssinia. Remember when I told you about the Afar region and I told you about Biafra, yes, and Biafra. This man is saying that the exact place that we located on the map as to have Biafra in it during the migration was where this very river was located. And these are Jewish scholars of note. Josephus, Pliny the Elder. These people we are writing in the ancient days. In ancient days. Even an Arabian, his name is Abraham Abulaf. And this same river was mentioned in 2 Kings as well in the Bible. The river that flowed beyond the rivers of Abyssinia. And where is Abyssinia? Is Ethiopia. If you go beyond Ethiopia, it becomes the kingdom of Biafra. It's here. I didn't write it. Everything we tell you is gospel. Everything we tell you is gospel. Absolute gospel. Some people don't understand, they don't reason very well. But here we reason. Go and research it. Sambation, the assignment. Go read it. Then you will understand the miracle that the Elohim is doing in our lives. You must understand it. They say you have no history. I don't know that the British discovered something they never wanted anybody to see. They said, your name is now Nigeria. It means gloomy, it means dark, it means evil. They said that the most credible account is that given by a Jewish writer and traveler. He's the most credible. His name is Eldad the Danite, you know, the tribe of Dan. In his letter to the Jews in Spain in the year 883 AD, he said, who are we? And the children of light. The children of light. There's something I want to play for you. There is something that I wish to play for you that the whole world may understand it. To know who we are. To know why we are agitating for Biafra. To tell the so-called misguided, foolish elders that cannot see, that are not learned, to let them understand why we do what we do. They know nothing. That is why we are the way we are. They know nothing. I want to show you something. Listen. Listen.
This is a very...
No, it has gone. It has. Oh my goodness, it has gone. I will try to play it from here. But listen.
That we believe that there's a possibility that the international community can be brought to bear at the UN.
Listen.
Declaration of Human Rights, all the way through. This is a very, very serious matter. There's something that
a white man,
not Nigerian. Although I think Dr. Lloyd has bestowed upon me the honorary title of Nigerian man. And we had a conversation. It wasn't heated, but he acted like he was going to revoke my Nigerian man credentials.
Listen.
Causing my 13-year-old son, who was in the car with me, to be very distraught. He said, Dad, you have to stay a Nigerian man. But talking about children, when I was a little boy, when I was 7 years old, growing up in the middle of nowhere, Florida, in a swamp, the closest town was 30 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that happened in the world that brought to bear to me that maybe things weren't always right, maybe things weren't always good, was in the Vietnam War.
Vietnam War?
I was in the South. It was correct adjustment. We were the warriors.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Biafra War.
Biafra. Listen.
I remember very distinctly thinking, this just isn't right. This isn't right.
The British will hear it now.
It is a great nation.
It's a great nation. Biafra.
And then later when I learned, something most people don't know,
mm-hmm.
that there is a plausible argument that democracy began in Igbo land.
Igbo land, a white man, democracy, the world knows today started in Igbo land. The whole world over. A white man, an American did his research. I don't know who has this clip, and I want to post it on my page. Democracy started where in Igbo land. Now, you see the reason why I say that we are the oldest people on this earth. And if you don't have the grace of God, you cannot write. You cannot read and write. A white man doing research in America. This is why CNN will not carry our news. If you're wondering why BBC won't carry it, this is it. Because the white man understands what Biafra means. Blacks in Africa don't know. They don't know the purpose of God in their lives. They have no idea. You see, the Yoruba see Biafra as something bad to be fought. Let's fight it. They are fighting Biafra of ignorance. This man did his research and said what our ancestors were able to do 5,000 years ago. Now, today we cannot do it. The first written constitution in the whole world, the world. The first organized government in the world, the world. There are two people that God controlled from heaven. The Israelites and those that he sent to Biafra land. Only two. The Israelites revolted and said, give us a king so we can be like other nations. And took up Adam and gave them Saul. You know the funniest thing? The Igbo race never asked for a king. Instead, they named their children Chibueze and goddess. That is why if you come out in Biafra land in those days, I say Iran as an example because they're the ones maintaining it. And you say to somebody you're a king, you're telling to go and be a king to your wife and your children. Igbo and obey. Now you understand how special we are. Now you understand why I fight for Biafra to be free. And I want my Yoruba brethren to understand, once Biafra is free, you're also very free. You'll be very rich. I assure you. Because it's a blessing from God in heaven, not man. And this is what the British never wanted you to know. They don't want you to know this, never. Because they want us to be saying it. And being a black man from Africa, if you're saying it, people won't believe you. The British saw this. That was why they said we must amalgamate them. They found a number when Nnamdi was a willing tool of the devil. And he agreed on. Master Bono wanted to say no. I'll play it again so you know how special you are. I want you to understand how special. Some of you don't know why we fight for Biafra. This is the reason why. We are the oldest of the oldest, the very ancient. When I tell you that Igbo language is word that speaks in heaven, you are doubting me. That is what they speak in heaven. The angels address God Almighty in Igbo language. This is the reason why the oldest civilization on this earth is Igbo language, the center of the whole world. Let's listen to this man once again. I'm excited about it.
Right.
Listen.
They're great people.
Great.
It's a great nation.
Great nation.
There was a country.
That was a country.
And then later when I learned something most people don't know,
Most people don't know this.
there is a plausible argument that democracy began in Igbo land.
Democracy.
The very first written constitution on this planet was written by the Igbo people.
The Igbo wrote the first constitution. But Europeans don't want the world to know. Because they are wondering, if that is the case, why did God put people in Africa? That's so backwards. And I'm saying to them, God sent us to Africa to bring light into Africa. That's our job. In our villages, which means light. It's in Anambra. It's everywhere you go to. Do you now see who we are? the first written constitution. Insignity, the first. Listen, I want to listen to this man more, please. Listen.
The very first democracy that involves self-governance.
Self-governance
for everybody.
Autonomous community.
Not just the Greek wealthy, but everybody was in Igbo land.
Igbo land.
And the very first democracy that permitted women leaders.
The first thing, anywhere when America was saying give women the vote, this is our mothers, so we are rulers. They rule the families. When women are talking in our culture, men don't come out. You don't dare come out. Can you say it? Can you hear who we are? When I hear all these fools in Abuja and Lagos, all these riffraffs talking rubbish, I feel sorry for them. That is why we are harsh with any idiot that calls himself an elder who doesn't know history. What we are fighting for is to protect something that anybody will be envious of. This is who we are. And we started worshiping idol. Somebody will go to the farm, cut the wood. Oh, Biafra, you got an idol. You bow down for an idol. And God took away all the blessings he gave us. He said, go and worship idol, and that's what we want. That's why we're in a mess. God gave us 700 years to come out of it. We continued in idol worship. And he sent the British. They came, he said, no, I don't want you to give it. He sent the British instead. Go and conquer them. And as you're conquering them, you're going with the Bible, the Old Testament and the New Testament. If they are smart, God said, if they are smart, they will go to Old Testament and see who they are. And that's what we did. Oh my goodness. Just listen.
Was in Igbo land.
Igbo land.
The West, Europe, we were still in the Dark Ages.
Europe was nothing. You see all these white men building aeroplanes and going to the moon, they were nothing. When Biafra land was bubbling, when the kingdom of Biafra was at its peak, with God Almighty in heaven as the undead king, Europe was nowhere. They were in the Stone Ages. They were nothing. Oh dear.
And yet the Igbo had figured out a way to have a just and meaningful government and a just and meaningful society and due process and fairness. And to this day, you see a great...
Listen, due process and fairness. These things are weaved into our idioms we have, our proverbs. This is a white man teaching you who you are. Fairness. Which is the foundation of our constitution. Fairness. I want the world to hear this. Biafra means fairness. You can never cheat anybody and get away with it. Never. The Biafra land. Some idiots come up and they say they're elders. They know nothing. They are promoting one Nigeria, bringing the curse of God upon them and on their children. They know nothing. God said they cannot go into Nigeria without Nigeria. I asked the British to come to show you who you are, that you may return to me, that I may re-establish my kingdom. Before I researched and I found it, I used to tell that Biafra is the kingdom of heaven on this earth. I told you that before. Before I did research and I discovered it. And I showed it to you. I showed it, it's on my page. Just scroll down and you see it. Kingdom of Biafra. It's there written. Which means that the name did not come from anywhere else. Apart from the people that believe it. The white man is not telling you who you are. The first organized system of government in the whole world. With fairness. With it too. Fairness. Fairness. That's the meaning.
This is a hardcore message from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to remind you who you are. Finally, today, the same white people are in the front line to restore whom we are. The man that gave that very information is from the United States. That democracy started from Igbo land. The first constitution written in Igbo land, revealed by somebody from the United States. And today, the United States is the front line, fighting for the cause of the Christians in Nigeria, changing the narrative, changing the world order. Remember who you are. Position yourself. The time has come that Mazin Nanagano spoke about. We must know who we are. We must get prepared. And we will also now listen to the advice of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ebanjogo. I told you that this evening, we are going to give them a chance to speak to us. Mazi Nanagano will speak to us. Mazi Simon Ebanjogo will equally speak to us. Let's listen to our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ebanjogo, on his own hardcore message to the Biafrans. Very important. Pay attention. You will be glad you did. Let us listen and hear what our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon, has to say.
Having a low self-esteem syndrome, because you never believe that Biafra will be a nation. I am telling you today, researchers estimate that each attend more or less 20,000 talks. What people think every day. And our ancestral tendency is to pay more attention to the negative ones, which is pure survival instinct. Biafra agitation is no longer camps, is no longer motorbike. Professionals have joined the league. We are making impact and alliances all over the world. It is no longer because Biafra is here, it's no longer time to say uneducated people are there. Those people are no longer in the forefront of the agitation. Most people with low self-esteem, though, are more prone to paying attention to the negative aspect of themselves. Their lives and external input, such as people and their situation. This is what Nigeria has offered you. Nigeria has made every Biafran to see himself or herself as a low self-esteem. And all you do is to see the negative impact of Igbo man. All you do is to see the negative part of Igbo man. You do not see the positive part. Upon the fact that Nigeria tells you, Igbo contribute the best. Igbo can change Nigeria. Igbo can do everything, turn it upside down and turn it to gold. Yet, you don't see that part of Igbo man. You don't see that part of the Biafra. You see the negative part of Biafra. Igbo man is this, Igbo man is that. But Nigeria is telling you, even as bad as Nigeria. Nigeria tells you that the Igbo man is this. Yoruba man tells you Igbo man can change Nigeria. Hausa man tells you Igbo can convert anything. Every other tribe in Nigeria tells you about Igbo man. Only you, the Igbo man, that you see yourself as enemy of yourself. Yet, you don't understand the impact you would make in a nation that you are going to govern yourself with every blessing of God upon your life. Today, we have come to change the script. I want you can name this speech of the Nation Today address as changing the script. This is called negative confirmation bias, and it is quite like seeing the world and us in a true dark lenses, failing to pay attention to the positive. We fail to pay attention to the positive of Biafra people. When you talk about freedom, you say, oh, they are fighting on social media. How can they govern themselves? That is the negative part. You kick it, but yet you call Obi. Obi
and baggage and go to northern Nigeria and enjoy your north. Believe me, we will give you the opportunity. This has tremendous impact on how we feel about ourselves. The meaningfulness we get out of our lives and, of course, our behaviors. Nigeria has impacted your life, and today you are branded with so many negative names to the point that you are scared of your own freedom. Nigeria has done that. That impact you with all manner of thoughts. You become scared of yourself. To the point that you as a Biafra is scared of having your own freedom. And they do that and they stay by the side and they laugh at you. They say, look at them. They thought they are educated. We have impacted this particular low self-esteem on them, and look at how they brand each other. Why the terrorists are coming, carrying gun. You have never seen the Fulani man or the federal government branding the Fulanis that are killing your military, killing your personnel, wiping villages, branding them with bad names. They call them criminals. Ordinary criminals, they call them. They call them criminals. Some of you in the struggle have called me criminal. That is the same value that the Fulani attached to the terrorists that you see bombarding Abuja yesterday. Yet you call yourself a brainless. Why this state of the nation has become necessary is because we are changing the script. And we are going to change this script by force. We are going to change it in this armed struggle. If you do not know that we have entered armed struggle, we are declaring the armed struggle today, in case you don't have knowledge about it. We are into armed struggle. For our freedom. I want you to understand that Nigeria impacted you, impacted your life, and today you branded with so many negative names to the point that you are scared of your own freedom because of the negative impact of Fulani government policies in your life. Only Biafra can solve this problem. That as Biafra using Nigerian passport, you are treated as a criminal or as a terrorist, while you are not one of them. Yet, your low self-esteem could not allow you to support Biafra. You are scared of what Biafra would be. You are scared of the lies and the propaganda that they manipulated you into. I want every one of you watching me today on this State of the Nation broadcast to think that the impact of tunnel vision focus on the negative and how this can make matters worse than they are. They create more stress. They create more stress, increase insecurity, and we end up engaging in behaviors that are entirely disconnected from our values. Some of you have completely disconnected, even with your so low self-esteem and your insecurity on supporting Biafra. You have been disconnected from the value that made you who you are as a Biafra. Yes, a vicious circle. Nigeria has given all this as a failed state. What I'm telling you today is fact. We do not mince words. Nigeria has given all these things I've said as a failed state. This is the impact of Nigeria in the life. A failed state. Today, when the Fulani terrorists were attacking Abuja, all of you were running some kind of step. Some of you that built one batter in Abuja, in the area where they attacked, you ran for your life. And the government were not there to help. You because I want you to understand it. No, the presence of Biafrans in that area are not. Just the way when they attacked church in Yoruba land, all of you were shouting, they have attacked Yoruba, they have attacked Yoruba church. Do you know the number of Biafrans that were casualties or victims in that church attack is higher than the number of Yorubas? Have you forgotten that almost all the people that were interviewed as a victim of that church attack were all Biafrans? Igbo-speaking Biafrans. Are you not aware? That is why we are now addressing every Biafran across Nigeria. A failed state without strong governance that plumb into disorder. Nigeria is an example of that. Violence and sponsoring terrorism against its own people and citizens. Nigeria, being a failed state, must end by 2000.
This is a very straight message from our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Every single thing Mazi Simon Ekpa have been shouting and talking about, finally today is in the open. Nigeria cannot hide anymore. Remember when Mazi Simon Ekpa was shouting and talking. People thought it was a joke. They called it a bluff. Today, they can't hide anymore. Every single cry that Mazi Simon Ekpa made, they call out and there's position. It is now before the international communities and the eyes of the whole world is in Nigeria. Nigeria is fighting to escape. But I bet you they will never escape. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also spoke and made a confession, told us about the actions of Donald Trump and what will happen. Some of us have forgotten, but we will continue to refresh your memory and take you back to where we are coming from to make sure you do not forget. That is our job. Give a voice to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Give a voice to Mazi Simon Ekpa.
I want to tell you that the agreement between the British and the Fulani has collapsed. And the only person that collapsed it is Trump. I want the world to understand this. The only person that collapsed that devilish arrangement whereby the Fulanis have been guaranteed in perpetuity, the advancement of their hegemonic interest right across the whole of West Africa, not just in the sea. As long as Britain gets their free oil, as long as there is enough money to pay every successive director of the United States Department of State, as long as there is enough money to bribe all ambassadors coming to Abuja. Before that, it was Lagos. As long as they have enough money, they were prepared to do anything they like to kill as many people as possible, to run the government into the ground, to go like there is no tomorrow, to display their mediocrity at its very worst.
I hope you had it very clear. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu predicted and said that Donald Trump will definitely end the agreement between the Janjaweed and the British. They are evil. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it in ABC. I want you to hear it again.
I want to tell you that the agreement between the British and the Fulani has collapsed. And the only person that collapsed it is Trump. I want the world to understand this. The only person that collapsed that devilish arrangement whereby the Fulanis have been guaranteed in perpetuity, the advancement of their hegemonic interest right across the whole of West Africa, not just in the sea. As long as Britain gets their free oil, as long as there is enough money to pay every successive director of the United States Department of State, as long as there is enough money to bribe all ambassadors coming to Abuja. Before that, it was Lagos. As long as they have enough money, they were prepared to do anything they like to kill as many people as possible, to run the government into the ground, more like there is no tomorrow, to display their mediocrity at its very worst.
you had that Mazen Nandekan made that revelation, and so many of us were not paying attention. So many of us did not take it serious. So many of us thought he was just making noise. And today, every single thing he has said has come and it's all working. I told you we will give Mazen Nandekan a voice to speak. We will give him a voice. There is nothing you can do. They tried to divide us. Mazen Nandekan stood in gap for us and made them to understand that we are one. And there is nothing they can do to separate us. They tried and tried and tried. He warned us about the coming of Fulani. What is happening today? And they are here. We are reminding you, all the messages and prophecies of Mazen Nandekan, we will go back to them and remind you so that you will understand. Nothing that is happening today that is coincidence.
In other words, I told you that they're going to come. You know, Fulani has this very stupid and senseless pride in them. I know that their pride won't allow them, they must come. And remember, I will give many of this every blessed day. This Fulani army will in Biafra land. They want to move them in. Maybe to start there, they are doing their now abduction there in the season of abduction. Very soon they will try their shoot outside to see if it will work. But I'm not sure it's going to work for them again, considering that all the entire southern governors have now come together to issue a communique stating it very, very clearly that the way they have been handling things in the past hasn't moved the situation forward. Now what they're trying to do is to try to bring in a new measure. And I want to warn Fulani Gender with the Nasoro. Any measure you bring to our land, we're equal to it. Anything you bring, we are going to face you. You understand that very clearly. Okay? So it doesn't matter what the AIG does, what the IG does, and all these idiots. The more you move men down to the east, the more the north will be taken. But of course, I know it's all the part of the game plan. What they want to do is to emasculate, to intimidate. So we can become wretched, lily-livered cowards. We will now allow you to enter into our land, send us away from our land. We'll come maybe to IDP camps in Amazonia. But it's not going to happen, and you understand that very well. And as I told you, you will take the bait, you will come. We will lure you into our land, and your army will die there. And the places you left in the north, in Sharia, Kor, Arewa North, will be taken over by terrorists and criminals that will never, ever listen to any of you.
Is it not happening today? This very prophecy has been fulfilled today. They came to Biafra land to take innocent life, to occupy our land. And their land is taken over by the terrorists, different kinds of terrorists, by ISWAP, by ISIS, by Lakarua, different kinds of terrorists are in charge today in the north. They can't even control them. They can't even hear them. They can't listen to them. This was what Mazen Nandekan told them, and they called it a bluff.
These are the things you must understand. So we are ready for you anytime you want. You can bring the game on. We are waiting for you. But you can never ever have it easy anymore. All that thing that people come out, you open fire anyhow. You know that if you open fire on the people, you will be confronted there and then. And you are going to die sooner than later. You will also perish. So now you understand. It doesn't matter what you announce or what you're not announcing, but we are assuring you that you are not going to prevail nor succeed in intimidating the children of God into submission. It cannot happen. You can find that nonsense elsewhere. It will work for you. But you see, in the East, it can never ever work. Never ever work. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Because when tyranny, as somebody said, when tyranny becomes a law for the government, massive rebellion becomes a mandate for the people. Because you cannot keep pushing us to the wall all the time, pushing us to the limit, massacring innocent civilians over and over and over again, and you don't expect them to fight back. You must be foolish. I want to remind all the intellectuals and sophisticated morons, all of them, Go back a few years ago, the slaughter, the killing of IPOB family members, peaceful protesters, Shia protesters, NSAS, every time I know a police will come, they open fire. None of you will talk. But now in our land, they are always looking behind their backs. They don't know where death is coming from. Because I assure them, they are all going to perish. The people telling you that they have a plan to secure the East, Southeast, and South-South, according to them. Armed robbers invaded Asarok. So we are led to believe. Under this regime. Only under this regime. Something unheard of in the whole world. I don't know where these Nigerians, I don't know who gave them their brain. Maybe to speak from those people, I have no idea. Some of you may have dismissed this issue of armed robbery in Asarok, but I want you to understand something that's never happened anywhere before in the history of the world or modern governance. Never ever happened before. They said that I the chief of staff, Ibrahim Kambari and Abubakar Maikano, and they stole valuable assets. That is how corrupt the Fulani people are. I told you before that there's something the Fulani they have perfected over the years. When they finish draining any particular department of parastatal dry, they set it alight to destroy every incriminating evidence. I am sure that whatever they may have stolen from the homes of Ibrahim Kambari and this Abubakar Maikano could be financial instruments worth billions of dollars belonging to the people. If you understand, armed robbers can, how can armed robbers, if armed robbers can authorization or non-government enter into Asarok to go and steal state valuables? Now tell me which part of the zoo is safe. They did not sit down to say to themselves, let us look for a way to strategize and devise new security approach to Asarok, to guard it. The Southeast and South-South are interested in the East, Biafra. And newspapers and their editors publish this type of junk every blessed day. And I'm asking them, have no shame, honestly. Armed robbers came to the seat of government to steal and walked away free. You shamelessly came in to announce that you are devising a new strategy for the East. You have not been able to devise a strategy to keep yourself safe inside Asarok. That is how they reason. It is supposed to be the most secure place in Nigeria. It is now every man for himself. That is why I commend Governor Autumn for what they have done. I will ask the southern governors, when is your meeting, invite your middle belt counterparts, and you see that the zoo will collapse in 2 weeks. Not just collapse. All those things that you have been asking for, they will give it to you. That is why all of you must come to the fullness of to the realization that you must, without fail, keep on doing what you're doing in terms of defending your land. You must defend your land. Look at people suggesting. I mean, can you go to how can I put it, to a gate man in a hospital and ask them to administer any form of treatment because you found them at the gate. Because you found them at the gate of a hospital. These people that are gate men in a hospital, you are prescribing a remedy that you cannot even yourself inculcate into the plan to keep your own self safe. You're not safe, but you're busy dishing out directive to go to. We now have a new plan. I'm asking the IG of police, go and secure Asarok first. Go and secure Abuja, where children are no longer going to school. Go and secure Abuja first. Go and recover Meduguri. Go and recover parts of Muyome. Go and recover parts of Zamfara. From the same terrorists that you groomed before suggesting how peace can be restored in the East. If you want to use that as a cover to bring in your army, they're going to die there anyway. I will not stress myself on this. Bring them now, you're going to see. And I want to warn our Dubuwa brothers, and I made it very clear to the activists last night, that the Fulanis imported a lorry load of arms and ammunition, and the containers were being escorted by the military last night, and they offloaded this very consignment somewhere in Bushu. But I'll come to that later on. I will give you the full details of exactly what transpired. And that was why Tinubu said that we had planned to bomb Lagos, something that is undoable in a billion years. In a billion years. They think we are very good students of contemporary history. We know the history of the war. I know personally how people from the West viewed the move by Biafran army to go and capture the seat of power or to neutralize them. It wasn't even an army of conquest to conquer the black people, of course not. It was that he heading straight to Dodan Barracks in those days to go and neutralize them. I know personally how my Yoruba friends have explained to me their trepidation and their fear over that very expedition led by Banjo then. We know. So we cannot try anything stupid. We can never, ever not understand, antagonize our Yoruba brethren. It's impossible. We can never do it. We meet all the time. We have meetings all the time. So how can we? Are you telling me that all those gallant men in OPC, all those gallant men all over Yoruba land, they cannot do any work? If we agree that they should go and start, disturbing those who are disturbing them, they have more than enough men to do it. More than enough to do it. We don't have to do that. But they lied as usual, as they always do. As they always do. As they always do. But in the north, what is happening? Some of you must be aware of what DSS is doing in and around. And do you also know that DSS, they also get a cut of the ransom? Are you aware of that? Do you know that the DSS or SSS, they should be properly referred to, do you know that they get a share from bandits? So Fulani people are not even happy owning all the oil wells, controlling the Ministry of Finance, controlling National, controlling almost everybody, controlling the defense budget. How many of you here are aware that the daughter of Abba Kyari is the one responsible for all Nigeria's investment abroad? It's called sovereign wealth. Investment in stock markets all over the world is the daughter of Abba Kyari. They control everything. Foreign inland revenue, every source of finance minister is always Fulani. Even when you plant your joro, or you plant maize, or you plant cabbage or carrot, the same Fulani terrorists will come and destroy it, use it to feed their cattle, and kidnap you in the process. Even that little money you have made by selling maize or yam or cabbage or watermelon, you now use it to pay the same Fulani to release your child, release your father, or release your mother back to you safely. Do you see what is happening? And you'll be astonished. I don't know why the mainstream media in the zoo doesn't want to give this very particular piece of news the coverage that it deserves. How we receive weapons from DSS agents and share the gains by Fulani bandits, Fulani terrorists. DSS that is busy abducting people. Oh, they want us to go into kidnapping and armed robbery as well. That's what they want. So we can start sharing the money. Okay, that's what they're looking for. They are now in Aba and everywhere, claiming they are implementing security strategy. But the same DSS, I don't know why their National Assembly, I have no idea why these people should not be investigated, prosecuted, and shut down DSS. Instead of contributing to making your lives as safe as it can be within the contraption, they are making it worse. I'll read it for you.
This very thing Mazen Nandekan is talking about is still happening today. That is why you see the National Security Advisor, Ribadu, today is funding terrorists, giving them weapons, claiming that they are forest guard. Niyeti Allah that we are captured with ammunition. The National Security Advisor, NSA Ribadu, came out and claimed that he is the one that gave them ammunition and they are legitimate. This is something Mazen Nandekan have been shouting about. That the SSS, the State Security Service, are working hand in hand with the terrorists, with the Fulani terrorists, Mieti Allah, giving them weapons. When Mazen Nandekan made this exposition, nobody paid attention. They didn't care. Nigeria moved on normally. You know, they move on as if nothing happened. Today, as we speak, you have seen National Security Advisor funding the one they called Forest Guard. You see them launching Forest Guard from all parts of the north. They are launching Forest Guard. Nobody knows how those people were recruited. Nobody knows where they come from. Nobody knows if they are Nigerians or not. Thousands of them recruited as Forest Guard, and they say they would distribute them in the whole nation. You saw terrorists caught with ammunition, Mieti Allah men, and the National Security Advisor came out and said that he gave them weapons. And nobody says anything till today. This is what Mazen Nandekan exposed far back, and it's still happening. It is still happening as we speak.
The German television, Deutsche Welle, in a recent report that they borrow money from DSS agents. And who are the people in charge of DSS? Fulani. Who are the people borrowing guns and ammunition from DSS? Fulani terrorists. That is why the South must understand they are all in this whole thing together. They're all in it together. As the security is worsening in Nigeria, armed bandits, the rising different parts of the country, have made a startling revelation to the German, I think it is the flagship media in Germany, Deutsche Welle, that they have been receiving weapons from operatives of DSS. You see that DSS, you see them with the ID for DSS. They are ones that bandits. These are having, and none of them are following. Very, very sadly. The criminals told Deutsche Welle in a recent report that they borrow weapons from the state agents and then go to work to share the ill-gotten gains together. They go, you pay ransom, they go to school. Now I know the reason why they keep sending that terrorist Sheikh Gumi to go and negotiate. They know where they are. DSS will not go and get them or mount a rescue operation to release those who are kidnapped. Instead, they are waiting for you to pay the ransom. They will tell Sheikh Gumi, tell them to pay, tell them to pay. It's dicey. Operationally, it's not difficult. The terrain is there is a hill. Talking rubbish. They give that 100 million naira ransom to the bandits. DSS will collect their own cost. Maybe exactly. Their guns or say, oh, what's well done.
Exactly.
In the same one Nigeria. Now the world knows because Deutsche Welle are carrying it. That thing we have been saying for years that all the Fulani cabal that are in it together, every Fulani person in any sensible position in government is part of this very grand conspiracy to overwhelm all of you. If you don't submit to their will, willingly, they will use every tactics, including terror, to get it from you. Now, the whole world knows, including the government of the USA, the EU, the UK, Japan, Russia, China, everyone now is fully aware of the fact that Nigerian security forces are the ones fueling insecurity for financial benefits. It is here in the news. Go and Google it, it is very clear. Insecurity, how we receive weapons from DSS agents and share the gains. These are Fulani people, perhaps from Timbuktu, telling Deutsche Welle. And all of you are there shouting one Nigeria. Making the Janjaweed feel that you need them. Whereas they are the ones that need us to survive. I have asked you this thing before. Go and read the amalgamation document. Lugard made it very, very clear. The reason why we are amalgamating the North and the South is because the North is poor. They have nothing. Till today, they still have nothing. These are the things you must bear in mind. The time we are live and direct for those who are peddling, I'll come to that piece of Bola made it later on. To those writing junk that Interpol is looking for Nnamdi Kanu. He fled from London. The time now is 7:55. Live. Interpol, they know where I am. Everybody knows. If you want to know, you will know. This is last cheap gutter propaganda. That was how you managed to put the late dead Buhari in office by writing junk and lying. You don't know we are IPOB. We are very, very formidable. You don't understand that? We are highly, highly formidable. You must understand it. You must understand it. I don't blame the Fulani gentlemen. I blame those from the south. Let us believe that after this meeting today, that the southern leaders, so to speak, or the governors in their various capacities, will now have the need to meeting more regularly to articulate a common position and stand when it comes to the issue of governance within the Damnable Zoological Republic. Because all of you planning to come and conduct security, whatever rubbish in the East, all of you against the agitation to break up Nigeria. I want to also remind all of you that there was a time when the Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate inspired the northern peasants to rebel and revolt against the Nigerian state. They threatened secession. During that very period, the British government did not send their armies to go and kill all of them. Instead, it was Dr. Zikiwe. I don't want to say his first name because I share the same first name with him and it irritates me. It was Dr. Zikiwe that appealed to the Fulani Janjaweed not to secede from Nigeria. United. So when you hear a Malam, when you hear Alimati writing nonsense on Facebook, I want you to remind him or her, it was you people, the Fulani controlled northern part of Nigeria, that planned to secede from Nigeria. This is not 1966 coup or anything. Before then, in 1953, the first people to ask to exit Nigeria is the Fulani Caliphate of the North. But today, when you hear them talking, you will think somehow that because then they have not discovered oil. Not at least in commercial quantity. Now there is oil, there is a commonwealth, there is pure money. Dollar must flow from oil and gas in the East. Everybody now wants to die for one Nigeria. But it was Zeke's voice. I don't know if it's a very lengthy article. Maybe some of you don't even read it. I think it was published by Again Newspaper. Zeke's voice that voided planned secession by the North in 1953. It was Dr. Zikiwe that appealed to the North to stay in Nigeria. They never went to war. Britain never deployed troops to say, oh, if you want to break our empire, we're going to kill you. Now ask yourself, why is it that the Fulanis are not deploying soldiers to go and kill people who are agitating the South? Why? When they themselves agitated to leave, nobody killed them. In 1953, when northern Nigeria, we are beginning to consider secession from the Nigerian colony, that will soon be a nation, Dr. Zikiwe gave a speech before the caucus of his political party, the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, in Yaba, Lagos, Nigeria, on May 12th, 1953. Tomorrow will be the anniversary of this. That speech, why not disallowing secession, suggested that there will be grave consequences if the northern region became independent from the nation. Zeke did not threaten anybody. The British people who were in control of the zoo that they themselves created did not send any army to go and quell the secession. That is the reason why they banned history in your schools. That is why some of you do not know history. The first people to attempt secession from Nigeria were the Fulani Janjaweed in 1953. Who stopped them from seceding? An evil man. Very, very sad indeed. You know, somehow, it's either that God wants to destroy us or we want to bring calamity upon ourselves all the time. Can you imagine what the lives of ordinary people would have been like had Zeke not intervened to persuade the northern Fulani Caliphate to remain within one Nigeria? There is something you need to understand very, very clearly. Nnamdi Azikiwe said the North will suffer because the North had nothing. absolutely nothing. Their so-called granite pyramid, we are not. It's not a pyramid at all. They built plank scaffolding and piled 2 bags of granite on top of each other to give you the impression that they have granite, and when they had nothing, absolutely nothing. Go and check it and do your own research. Zeke was begging them because Zeke himself grew up in the north. Zeke said, I was born and I grew up in Zugate. Please don't go away. If you go away, you have nothing. You're going to suffer. You're going to be impoverished. And they listened and they remained in one Nigeria. And now the devils have turned. And what are they doing to those who are taking to leave? The zoo that Britain created. They are killing them, they are maiming them, they are showing them aside. Whereas it is these same northerners that first floated the idea of secession. I hope it is becoming very, very clear for everybody. What they have given to us are headsmen, terrorists, rapists, murderers, kidnappers across the entire length and breadth of the zoo called Nigeria. They do not care, and we caused it. It was the fault of an Igbo man. Now I understand why sometimes I would speak or write very angrily about Dr. Zikio. Now I understand the reason why. It wasn't his fault after all. Today we are agitating to be free. Today we are fighting to be free in the East and in the West. And what have they done? The APC-led government of Lagos State, in conjunction with Lagos State Commissioner of Police, having concluded plans to attack some parts of Yoruba land and blame it on IPOB, just to create a discord between the Yoruba nation and the Biafra nation, and to destroy the cordial relationship that these two agitating nations have maintained very lately. They want to destroy it. Tinubu knows that it's not going anywhere. So he has now unleashed his machinery. Everything is national has now come out to try to fight us, to try to fight me, and to try to fight the children of God. But it's going to fail. I want the world to know tonight that Tinubu will later pay a good lot, but that's how they behave in Lagos, to attack some parts of that very city so they can later accuse IPOB of masterminding the attacks. This is what some unscrupulous politicians, very desperate criminals are doing in Nigeria today. I want to ask Tinubu, who is a thief and a criminal, why did you not come to the pages of newspapers and television screen to announce the numerous sackings of Yoruba villages by bandits and terrorists? Because there are Yoruba people right now in Benin Republic. Why was there no hoo-ha about Yoruba villages being sacked by Fulani Janjaweed? Why? That tells you all you need to know about these people and their intentions. And Yoruba, I want to ask Tinubu, are Yoruba people not refugees in the Republic? Who put them in refugee camps in the Republic? Are you telling me that Yoruba media is afraid of their Fulani masters? And in their docility, real damage is being done in Yoruba land. You have the courage to link IPOB to whatever nefarious activities that you're planning to unleash around Lagos. But people that pursue Yoruba people into the Republic, you cannot write about them or admonish them the way you have tried to do against the squeaky clean image of the indigenous people of Biafra. This is very, very sickening. It is a very desperate and psychopathic attempt by this very thief, this very gluttonous and insatiable criminal that will do anything to appease his Fulani overlords. The same man that introduced ethnicity and tribe into the NSAS protest, along with the same corrupt and satanic Yoruba media. They thought they were going to succeed. They tried it yesterday and it failed. Only one tweet, I tweeted, only one. The whole thing collapsed. And of course, when they were pursuing Yoruba Oduduwa activists, and they asked us to ask them, What do you have to say? IPOB is going to bomb Lagos. What do you have to say? They said it's a lie. Go and ask the journalists. All the people they call, all the heavyweights, frontliners, they called all of them yesterday to condemn IPOB. They said, no, IPOB cannot be such. Nobody fight from the south can be such a thing. It's impossible. They were disappointed. One tweet destroyed all their lies. That was why they came up with another one today. You know, they think if they keep writing all this junk, somehow they'll demoralize us. We'll say, oh, things are no longer going the way that we want it to go.
The message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you cannot have enough of it. Very spot on. At this particular point in time, we need unity. We are one people. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also spoke about our unity. We are one people. Don't allow them to divide us. At this time that the whole world is focused in Nigeria, Nigeria cannot hide anymore. It has ended. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have succeeded with Mazi Simon Ekpa with microphone and messages to pull down the walls of the Janjaweed. All we need to do today, those of us who are still out there, we have to maintain peace among ourselves. We have to continue to hold on to the unity of purpose. Hold on to unity of purpose. Forget about your grudges and your envy. Forget about anything that has been committed against you by anybody. We are one people. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu confirmed that we are one people. Also, he admonished us to forgive and move on. Let us hear this message. Again from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very important. For every single thing you hear, put it to work. Don't just listen.
We are one blood, one family. There is, people have all these appendages, on all these names. People, I can trace their ancestry. I know where you come from. I know the family where you come from. You know, somebody telling me it's from Asaba. And it's Niger Delta from Asaba, which is used to be Ahaba. That is the name. We forgive ourselves every blessed day. Everybody makes during, even before the war, mistakes were made. But from all sides, we are all responsible for what's happened. I'm going to dwell on it forever and ever, of course not.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu here is preaching unity among us, that we must have offended each other in one way or the other. Every one of us must have made mistake in one way or the other. Likewise, I am saying in 2026, at this time that the international community is focusing in Nigeria, forget your grudges, forget your envy, jealous, forget whatever your brother have done against you. Leave all those appendages, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said. Borrow that advice into 2026. The international community is focused on Nigeria, more especially the United States of America is prepared, ready to take action any moment from now. We must borrow leave, forgive each other, and move on. An advice from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Hear him.
From the Constitution of Biafra, it will be spelled out very, very clear. It was my intention before, and still remains, that if water should be, of course, now you're going to make it, making a very big argument for it, should be the capital of Biafra. We will be so busy building and reviewing what are the houses we have in the world. Have you not seen how Hong Kong is built? Go and get a picture of Singapore and see it. That is the type of. Are you telling me that we are fighting and dying every day to have another useless African country? In Biafra, God forbid, we are going to build full house. There will be no time. We are going to be so busy working. There will be no time for even anybody to think about revenge. What's the going to do? We have made mistakes during the war. Are we dead? They killed us 5 million. Yet we went to the north. Some people still marry Fulani people. Like they are the ones that killed 5 million of us. What did there people, some people from Ukraine and take Sunday house? How about those that took life? Please, we are one people, and in a new Biafra, from our constitution, you will know there will be no room or space for any of this nonsense. Because, as I told you, go and look at the United Arab Emirates model. You cannot go from Dubai to go to Doha and tell them what to do unless you have somebody from Doha inviting you. Before you go to Godebank to invest, in fact, you must have representative who is so good. They are almost part of that business as they're doing today in Dubai. That's what they do. We know what we are doing. There will be no room or space for that. Heaven forbid. Because we are all one people. Equality is evil. I can tell you where you come from if you're lost. I know where Ugodi comes from. Kenny Saraway is that is it. We're talking about all these useless discussion. We are one people. Like the only thing is that no army, no, you will not. Some people will live and die, they won't see the Biafran army. But it's older from the Biafran army. People, police will not carry any gun. So the Prime Minister of Biafra cannot send somebody and say, oh, go to Ogoni village and conquer them. You cannot. You don't send the army to do anything without the party. In fact, you can't even try. So we are going to have something very good. If you need to blend of what you have in UAE and what you have in Switzerland. And freedom. Freedom is the watchword.
You have had a clear message from our Supreme Leader Martin Nandekan asking us to hold on to unity, respect each other, unify with one another, be in love and respect each other. Remove all appendages, no matter what your brother or your sister have done against you. Forgive and move on. He has just spelled out what Biafra is going to look like. So, my fellow Biafrans, a very good foundation has been laid for us. It is left for us to do our own part and do not allow this wonderful and beautiful opportunity to slip away from us. In the same way, our Prime Minister Mazi Samuel Ekpa also was there, giving us advice, telling us what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And I have told you that I will always give them a voice in this platform every day. And I want you to hear this from our Prime Minister Mazi Samuel Ekpa also. Very important message. We can't forget them. We can't ignore them. They have done wonderful, great job on us. And we will continue to follow them.
My supporters, Biafrans in the United States, I want every one of you to remember these 3 words. Nigerians, we are no more. Southeasterners and the Southerners, we cannot become. And Biafrans, we must be. What are the declaration of the 2nd December meant to achieve?
You heard him very well. Nigerians, we are no more. Southeast or Southerners, we cannot become. Biafra, we must be. So you must always remember that we are Biafrans. That is whom we are. And nobody can change whom we are as Biafrans. We will continue to hold on to that. We are Biafran people. We will continue to hold on to our faith. And we will not allow anyone to take away our rights as Biafrans. We will not allow anybody to steal away that blessing we have been given as Biafrans. We will not allow anybody to take it away. Wherever you are, You must stay strong and stand firm. Do your part and allow Chukwu Kabiam to fight our battle for us and do for us that which is our heart desire.
That Simon Ekpa is not looking anybody's face. The only person I respect in the struggle is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I gave him my word that I will never disappoint him. Before you pick a fight, no matter what, you can't take it out. I'm a woman Nigeria, one hero Biafra, one listener Biafra, 2023. I don't know Woto. You can never swallow it and you can never bring it out.
Never.
So I want you people to understand that propaganda is ongoing. They even said that are signing petition to arrest Simon Ekpa. I do not know, what kind of petition they are signing to arrest Simon Ekpa for other reasons. These people don't understand that we are actually in freedom fighting. Freedom fighting where we do not validate Nigeria state. We are fighting for our freedom. Nigeria state have committed war crime, genocide, crime against humanity in our land, leading us to take the decisive decision we are taking today, and every necessary measure will be taken to make sure that we save Biafrans from Nigeria. Come to 2023.
Is this not what the US is doing today? What Mazi Simon Ekpa was fighting for is what the United States of America is fighting today in Nigeria. Genocide against the innocent. Defending the innocent. That was exactly what Mazi Simon Ekpa was doing. What the United States of America has come in to do today under Donald J. Trump is what Mazi Simon Ekpa was doing. You see why I say Biafrans, we must wake up and position ourselves properly. How I wish Mazi Simon Ekpa was still around. This is what he wished for. This is what he fought for. What we are seeing today is what he fought for. But as Chukwu Okabe might have it, he is not here. But even after that, we will not give up. And they can't swallow him. Mazi Simon Ekpa is going to be back. He is going to be back as very soon as possible. And if you think he's going to give up, sorry. Ndo. They are going to get it hard.
You'll be infected. If you eat me as a meat, all cancer,
Nigeria has eaten cancer already, and the cancer, look at what the cancer is doing to Nigerian government today. Nigeria has eaten the cancer called Mazi Simon Ekpa. Look at what is happening to them today. Look at what is happening to them. CPC designation. Donald Trump and Israel coming, United States and Israel coming to defend the innocent, to defend Christians. And who are those Christians? Biafrans.
When you cancer, you finish here. Come and eat me as a meat. If you eat me and go to sleep and wake up, you know, you can't eat me.
I agree with you, my Prime Minister. Nigerian government Nigerian government have tested the meat. They should come and tell us how sweet is the meat they have tested. They should come and tell us how sweet the meat they have tested is. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you that have been with us on this very evening program. We have done justice to this program, and we are going to do more. I told you we will continue to give Mazi Nandekan and Mazi Simon Ekpa a voice. If there is nothing else I can do, if there is nothing else I can be able to do, at least I will always make sure that they are not forgotten. Their messages will continue to ring a bell. Their messages will continue to ring a bell. And we will not allow them to be forgotten. No matter what the enemies are saying, no matter what they are doing, no matter their propaganda, no matter their blackmail, no matter what they say and how they say it, we will continue to give them a voice. These are the people who has made sacrifice. People who are ready to lay down their life for you, for me. And there is nothing anybody can tell us to turn our back on them. They have fought a good fight. They have fought a great battle. And they deserve everything that we can offer. We must not forget them. Let's hear this message from our supreme leader, Mazi Nandekan. If there is nothing we can do, we give them a voice to speak. Let the word.
There are no jobs, no schools, no good roads, no water, no electricity, people dying every day, kidnapping, nepotism, all manner of abominable things. These men they sent to become fat in Abuja, they are telling us that the best way to solve the problem of the Zulu is by creating more states. These are not the sort of people that you stay with. No, you don't.
That is Mazi Nandekan saying it the way it is. He will always say it. From day one, he has been saying it the way it is, unapologetically. Those things they don't want the world to see, they don't want to hear, they want to hear. Mazi Nandekan have always brought it in the front line, brought it in the front door. As they continue to try to push those things aside, he will continue to bring them on the front line. He has never relented. Even when they try to silence him, he talks more louder. The same thing is what Mazi Simon Ekpa has been doing. Two of them has been on the front line. And they have kept the ball rolling, kept the fire on, and made sure that they don't succeed. Mazi Nandekan has already been there, making expositions right, left, and center, including exposing those who claim to be what they are not. Continue to expose them, and they will have no place to hide. All we are asking is our freedom. The quest for freedom is not a crime. You have the right to fight for self-determination. You have the right to be whom you're supposed to want to be. And nobody can stop you. It is our right. It is our right to have our freedom.
So that should ring as a warning to all of them that we are not joking. I do not believe in peaceful actualization of whatever rubbish is. I have never seen where you become free by peaceful means. If you know, you tell me. I am a student of contemporary history. I have never come across anywhere in the history books where you get your freedom out of a peaceful process. It's never happened. Never, ever, ever.
Now, let me ask you, if you look at the world today, look at the place that
Mazi Nandekan made it clear. Nobody can dash you freedom. You need to fight for
We
it.
have made it very clear. Mazi Nandekan is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Simon Ekpa is the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic of Exile. Know this and know this. Once you know this, you will know this. But if you refuse to know this, you will never know this. I remain the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic of Exile, and as a matter of fact, I remain in charge. And if you don't want me to be in charge, bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out.
Final, a very direct statement made by Mazi Simon Ekpa. He didn't miss word. He said it the way it is, clearly, putting the position where it need to be. He made it very, very clear. He spelled it out the way it should be. He didn't miss word. He didn't try to paint the world. He didn't try to make you happy. He just said it exactly the way it is. So it's left for you to either take it or leave it. And that is where we stand.
We have made it very clear. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Simon Ekpa is the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic of Exile. Know this and know this. Once you know this, you will know this. But if you refuse to know this, you will never know this. I remain the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic of Exile, and as a matter of fact, I remain in charge. And if you don't want me to be in charge, bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. Stop all this nonsense of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu control Biafra from prison. It doesn't work. It can never work and will never work. We are well-educated people, very sensible people, very smart generation that you cannot deceive. You don't expect Biafra people, as wise as we are, to be led from TSS dungeon. If you are not happy by the fact that Simon Ekpa is now in charge of the Biafra Liberation Movement, you don't need to start disgracing yourself on social media.
This video must be paid attention to. You need to compare it with some people today that are using this video to make propaganda and blackmail. If you watch in this video how Mazi Simon Ekpa started, Mazi Simon Ekpa, first of all, recognized Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as the leader of the struggle. From day one, Mazi Simon Ekpa has never one day criticized Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Simon Ekpa has never one day called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Sabo. Mazi Simon Ekpa has never one day denied the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Simon Ekpa has never one day said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer capable. Compared to what we are seeing today, there are some people who are telling you, oh, we too, we will not obey any order from the prison. We will not obey any order from the station. But already, you have denounced, deassociated yourself from the Prime Minister. That is the difference. You deassociated yourself from Prime Minister by the letter you wrote, which every one of us read, where you called our Prime Minister a saboteur. You denounced the Prime Minister simply because he gave an instruction. Even if you don't want to obey that instruction, you don't like it, that will not make you to come and write a letter and post in public to antagonize the Prime Minister, to call him a saboteur, call him different kinds of names, untreatable names, to accuse him falsely. Because before you could make such an accusation against myself, you should have gone to see him face to face. Mazi Simon Ekpa is in detention in Europe, and anybody can go there and see him. He can be visited. He has been speaking to people. So what Mazi Simon Ekpa is saying here is totally different from what some people are posting today, telling you, oh, so because Mazi Simon Ekpa said, I will not take order from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu invitation, we too, we will not take order. The same thing Mazi Simon Ekpa did is exactly what it is not the same thing. Because in your own case, you disrespected Mazi Simon Ekpa, you denounced him, you rejected Mazi Simon Ekpa as your leader. That is what you did. Mazi Simon Ekpa never rejected Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He remains loyal to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He gives Mazi Nnamdi Kanu his accolade. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the leader. He continued to call himself a disciple. He never called himself, he never took himself above Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not even for a day, not even for a minute. But in your own case, you have called Simon Ekpa a saboteur. In the letter that I wrote, I read. The letter that you wrote, you posted online, everybody read it. So what the action you took there and what you said there is 100% totally different. Totally different from what Mazi Simon Ekpa is saying in this video. I want us to take it again. Just pay attention to how Mazi Simon Ekpa started his statement. Listen carefully to how he started his statement and where he was going.
We have made it very clear. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Simon Ekpa is the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Nigeria. Know this and know this. Once you know this, you will know this. But if you refuse to know this, you will never know this. I remain the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic of Nigeria, and as a matter of fact, I remain in charge. And if you don't want me to be in charge, bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. Stop all this nonsense of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu control Biafra from prison. It doesn't work. It can never work and will never work. We are well-educated people, very sensible people, very smart generation that you cannot deceive. You don't expect Biafra people, as wise as we are, to be led from DSS dungeon. If you are not happy by the fact that Simon Ekpa is now in charge of the Biafra Liberation Movement, you don't need to start disgracing yourself on social media. If you hate Simon Ekpa's approach to Biafra freedom, bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out and stop antagonizing what Simon Ekpa is doing in his own way to bring Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not your friend in 2021, before 2021. Some of you going to seek advice from him was the one who masterminded his kidnapping from Kenya. And the same man today you are running for help. If you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is now somebody to be listening to, bring him out to stop you. But so long as he continues to be illegally detained at the DSS dungeon, you must come to terms to that reality that Simon Ekpa is not in charge. I will deal with you people. You don't know what you have done to yourself. Freedom fighting is a fight to finish. I have come to end and stop and finish the fight that Ojukwu started over 50 years ago. So all of you that you see Simon Ekpa as an obstacle to whatever nonsense you are doing with Nigeria, believe me, I am just knocking at the door. I have not started. I told you people that the time is coming when you are going to know who Simon Ekpa is. The time is fast approaching. So if you are not happy with the fact that Simon Ekpa is in charge and the new sheriff in town, bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out to stop you. And if you cannot do that, you will rant and you will keep quiet. You write to everywhere you want in this life, you will keep quiet. I warned you people from the beginning. This Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kidnap will be the worst mistake Nigeria has ever made. And I warned in the beginning that we are going to make sure that the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very costly and expensive. My people of Biafra, I am telling you, we are now over $15 billion lost to Nigeria, and we are counting. We are counting. 15 billion lost to the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we are still counting it. By the time we get to September, it will get to 20 billion. I am talking about $20 billion. That is the estimated loss to the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now tell me, not only that, we are crashing the foundation of Nigeria. And God have used you to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so that you are going to pave way for the quicker action for Biafra liberation. And it is happening. And so, Biafra people, those who are still contemplating on what Simon Ekpa is doing, please do not listen to criminals who collected money to sell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And those telling you Simon Ekpa should stop using Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name, I want to tell you one thing today. I've been addressing this on Twitter. During the time I was having meeting with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, none of these people were part of it. None of them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never brought anybody to me. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never introduced anybody in Biafra struggle to me. If anybody has ever participated in the meeting between me and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the person should come forward. And I take his word. I am working and executing the contract and agreement, verbal I have with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, only between me and him. Nobody else was part of it. And I'm going to fulfill this particular agreement to the best interest of myself, best interest of Biafra, best interest of our future, and best interest of our nation. It is not attached to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is attached because of our land and to those who have sacrificed everything in the struggle for Biafra. So this particular agreement, nobody born of woman will come and be in between it. So I want to make it very clear today that the time I'm having a meeting with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, none of them were part of it. I do not know anybody. I never introduced anybody to me. I have come to finish where it stopped. The code is in my path, not in the criminals that were expelled, not in the governors, not in the senators that will soon begin to receive the Dwakanono of internal one. We have started it. If you think you can do what you have done to other people, this is the end of the road. So, Biafra people, tomorrow we're going to have the normal broadcast, and I wish that you're going to enjoy yourself. For the time being, I just come here to give every Biafra a shout out, to thank you for your resoluteness and what you have done during the 2 weeks at home. It was a success. For the very first time in the history of the evil entity called Nigeria, we shake the foundation, we shake the very evil foundation to the maximum, and we continue to shake that particular foundation until it is broken, finally. So I want to use this opportunity to appreciate Biafrans for allowing the spirit of Biafra to possess them and staying very strong and very resolute, irrespective of the fact that they are propagating lies and whatever they are propagating in order to stop the Biafra. Today, the people that were proscribed, I want you to know that IPOB, those people you see today and deceive our people to die 3 years ago, were proscribed by the Nigeria representative within Biafra territory in the southeast, called Southeast Governors, proscribed IPOB for no good reason. And while they have not been unproscribed, they are now calling us criminals. And those who were part of the proscription are celebrating that they are calling us criminals. As if we are. They celebrate criminal. And I want to ask again, I don't know, which one is better? Is it a proscribed terrorist group or is it a criminal group? We are neither of the two. We are not criminals, we are not terrorists, but they proscribe the idea. So, you see, the people that have not even come out of the proscription are celebrating when they say we are criminals. And they say we are not a member of IPOB. We are the government of Biafra in exile, officially, legitimate official government in exile. And that is the supreme now. If you don't like it, bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you don't like the fact that Biafra Republic government in exile is now supreme, and I want everyone to understand that very soon we will stop using IPOB. Very, very soon we are going to stop using IPOB because IPOB name has been adulterated by evil people. We are going to stop using the name, and if they are not happy with that, they can release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to put this in order. Every strategy we are going to use to show Nigeria that they have fired the wrong shot, we are going to do it. So Biafra people, get ready. When they do too much, when they overdo, we change it for them. We are going to stop using IPOB in due time. And the only legitimate name will be the Biafra government in exile. And under that government in exile, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released. And if they are not going to be happy with that, they should release him to come and put back IPOB where it is. You know, I want everybody to understand that the war we are fighting now is not just the war of gun and bullet. It is also war of brain, war of Aluche Ghana. We are going to be giving them back to back. We are the one leading this movement, and we know when to fire that shot. We never miss target. So when they do too much, we will change the name completely. And the government in exile will take full charge. By then, if they do anyhow, we will continue to demand them to release Mazin to come and put the things in order. If there's so much love for IPOB that they prescribe, because now they are dragging who is IPOB, who is not IPOB. All of a sudden, the Nigerian government is now telling you Samaneba is not a member of IPOB. All of a sudden, Nigerian newspaper is now carrying the who is a member and who is not a member of IPOB. They are now dragging who is a member. And this is supposed to be a proscribed organization, a proscribed group. All of a sudden, they are embracing them. So we are going to change, and just follow me and know when the time comes to change them. And we are going to stop mentioning it. Let them enjoy the IPOB prescribed. The Biafra government has come to stay. We are now government to government, not organization. So I want you to understand, they never expected what is happening now to happen. Everybody is crying. And I want you to understand that the ignorance in the life of some of them are too much. The ignorance is very smelling. And what we know, they don't know it. What we know, they don't know it. I want to use this opportunity to send a message to somebody that I didn't want to, even respond to.
This message is to take you back to where we are coming from. Refresh your memory. As I told you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa will continue to have a voice in this platform. If there is nothing we can do, at least we will give them a voice. To remind you, every one of us, where we started, where we are coming from, and make sure it is not forgotten. We are going to round up with the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Pay attention to this very message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Answers that he gave, very, very important. Let's pay attention and hear what he had to say.
We know what we're doing. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand that we've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I may be. If I'm dead, it's a little better because we come far more quicker. I assure you, if Biafra is fighting for such a property, if you're fighting alone, you're bound to do this. So Biafra is the first. We will become the 16th member country record. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll take them back. Even for the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belong to many families in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually they got everything back with compensation on top of it. That's what we're going to do. Because our investment will come back to you. And we know we can get it from you. So there is nothing for anyone to worry about. It's only if you are not stopping you from being a Nigerian, if you are born on the streets of Lagos and want to be a question and your name is Adama, oh well and good. There's no problem.
We have come to the end of the message of today, and tomorrow morning we are going to come back for our morning section. Please join us on morning program tomorrow. It is going to be a blockbuster tomorrow morning. We have a lot tomorrow morning. Join us on a morning program tomorrow, and we will continue from there. Every evening, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa will be speaking to us live on this very platform. We can never forget them. Thank you so much for being part of this program this evening. See you again wherever you are watching, morning, evening, afternoon, according to your own time. I appreciate every one of you, and join us on tomorrow's program. I appreciate you, and I thank you for being part of the program. Good night, everybody, and stay blessed.
Again, every time Nigeria is ringing bell. If I look on news, it is bell. If I look social media, it is problem. When I should be drinking coffee, they will make me to come online. They don't want to have me to rest. But you know what? You know what? The spirit in me, the Biafra spirit in me, I said, when I told you, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is looking for 100 people, I promise that I have 50 in me. You have not seen anything. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. But, you know, as an eke or my own oru, I am a roya, rucha, ike. You understand? Till Biafra come. But, today you are going to receive sense. The crypto, Nigeria crypto. As they are crippling your economy, they close border. They closed the border. ESN came out automatically, you know, weaponized. It shocked them. It shocked them. They said, this border no work. Oh. This close of border no work. Oh. Now, how do we stop the funding now of this Sunday or Igbo? How do we stop the contribution? Let us stop the crypto. Because they were following Nigerians, southern Nigerians. Use crypto. We should open crypto. We use crypto. Don't use the Western Union. Don't use this. They say, so these people are doing crypto. Okay, let us slash them. Bah! They are not considering the economic impact of crypto. No. They are not considering how much the crypto is bringing to Nigeria economy. Their agenda is not to make Nigeria progress. No. They have a better agenda. Now you get the point. Now you get the point. My only problem is that why is it that you must wait? Thomas. Was Thomas born in Nigeria? Is Thomas a Nigerian? Is Thomas in the Bible in Nigeria? Are you a lineage of Thomas? Are you a lineage of Thomas? All of you have Thomas blood in your vein. How did you get Thomas blood in your vein? That it must happen to you first before you understand. We hear more. In Anubia, you hear more kind of man. Whoo! When we are telling you, you don't know, we are telling you, even we are not prophets, but everything we have said, everything we open this mouth to say, if it don't happen today, it will happen tomorrow. I want you to go from the beginning of this struggle, from the beginning. In fact, even the one that we are not sure of, once God asks us to say it, we will say it and God will do it. Hey! One walk the robi muma odema. Hey! I said, did you see the prayer? May God harden the heart of the leaders in Nigeria so that we will tell them, the world may know that Obi is no longer a boy. I remember when we used to read the history of the Greeks, the Greek gods. I don't know, of course you don't read all those things in Africa. the history of the Greek